Bonjour, Kwe Kwe, Tansi. It's Catherine here from Moonstarlodge in Georgian Bay, Central Ontario. And I'm here with your weekly reading from March the 6th to the 12th. And it's a very interesting one. As I film this, I'm just coming off my birthday, and today the moon goes apogee. So it means that it is the farthest away from the earth that it can be. And the reason I point that out is that the energy of this full moon is impacted by the fact that it is pretty much still the farthest from the earth it can be. This is the full moon on the 7th of Ways the Truth. And I have talked about her in the past. But just a gentle reminder that Ways the Truth comes in the month of Big Wind's moon. There's an internal joke there. We'll just bypass that. She is the keeper of equality and the guardian of justice, the fair judge of divine law and the destroyer of deception, the mother of truth and the protectress of the underdog, the mother of self-determination and responsibility. She teaches us how to find the ability to respond and how to be self-determined, how to feel the positive, not the negative, by using divine law, how to use equality with justice, being accountable for our actions and words, and how to use personal integrity, ethics, and values to find healing solutions. And she teaches us how to accept the truth. So that's a bit of a barn burner, kind of a message. This grandmother is one of the heavy hitters, so to speak. And the fact that the full moon comes at the time of apogee, in shamanic culture, we use the moon in apogee to journey. So this is a full moon to do some meditation, if that is what you do, and allow yourself into the expanded universe. If you are a shamanic student of ours, you know that we do journey on that day. Journey for self and others if necessary. So this is a really important time to clear within yourself what is true, to be very matter-of-fact about it, to be accepting of the truth, and then to find what it takes with integrity and ethics and honesty to deal with that. So I did get a request from Jenny to do art decks, but I found in looking at my art decks, they're all tarots and there's no oracles. So what I'm going to do is make that a separate entire video so I can take the time to show some specimens from all kinds of weird and wonderful, beautiful, beautiful decks based on the art of many different kinds of famous and almost famous artists. Today I chose instead, with the help of some dowsing, to work with the 8 decks that I happen to have that are from an artist called Paulina Cassidy. She is an artist, so her decks would be included in that category. She is the artist of her own decks, and her decks tend to be monochromatic, very intense drawing, a lot of stuff to really peruse, which I like, particularly for path working. If you're looking later on for her decks, you'll find that she has published over the years under 3 names: Paulina Cassidy, Polly Faye, as in F-A-E, and Paulina Faye. She may have actually published under other names, but those are the names that I have found. The decks I'm using today are her Witchlings deck and book, the Pixicans, which are, it's a daily affirmation deck, so in other words an oracle, the Joie de Vivre Tarot, one of my favorites of hers. The Paulina Tarot, very gentle, very lovely. The Phantasma Tarot. How can you not love a tarot with a llama on the cover? Spirit Song. I think of all the decks I'm using today, this is my absolute favorite of hers. And finally, the Fairy Guidance, Oracle. So what I've done, 4 of these decks are tarots, and then I have the oracles. I've got 7. So 4 of the 7 are tarot and 3 are oracles. So we doused, and the one tarot, the Paulina, I believe, is the one that's going to have 1 card in the tarot spread and 1 card clarifying. So let's go to the cards, Brian. And here we have the 7 cards being used as tarot and the 7 clarifiers. These 2 are the Joie de Vivre. These 2 are Paulina. These 2 are Spirit Song. And this one is, this is Phantasma. So this is the Phantasma Tarot card that's being used as an oracle. These are the fairies. These are the witchlings. And these are the Pixicans. So I've mixed it all up here, trying to keep track. So the significator card here is the 9 of Cups. What a lovely little card. So we've got and are acknowledging all the beauty and growth and wonderful things in our lives, starting with the simplest of things. Whatever's in these cups, it could be a best cup of tea or coffee in the world. So we're acknowledging the plenty in our lives. And it's clarified by the 6 of Cups. There's that llama again. So we're looking back on childhood, and we're looking back on the memories of things. And perhaps the plenty that we've carried forward comes from our ancestors and the things they have given us, and we still have them in our present life. That's one way of looking at it. It's very much an emotional card. So both cards are emotional. So they're water sign cards. They're about having the connection to spirit that has to come from emotional vibration. So when we are emotionally connected to the goodness in life, we are emotionally connected to Source, or as Esther Hicks would say, we are in the vortex. So that's a wonderful way to start on the 6th. And we move into the Hermit space. Now the Hermit space is about knowledge. The keeper of the light could be, if you were in an indigenous community, you could be the knowledge keeper, the storyteller, the fact finder, the wise one. So you're going into your internalized wise one space with all these lovely emotional vibes. And it's clarified by prosperity. The inner power supplied by spiritual prosperity lasts in eternity. So very much this card is really encapsulating what's going on here. We move to the 4 of Wands. So this says that there's an awareness that a journey that you have been embarking on is successfully completing. 4s are stability. You found stability. You're on firm ground. You've landed in some way. Now, the Wands are the passion and spirit suit. So again, there's a divine law aspect to this card, and it's clarified by beauty. Beauty is unveiled by the lustrous light within. So this light within is certainly nourished by the Hermit. We move to the Ace of Swords. So this is an incubating idea. So while you've landed on some aspect of your journey here, be it new job, new home, new relationship, just a new you, a new level of who you are. There is an incubating new thought. This is the air, this is the intellect, this is thinking. Something new is evolving. And it's clarified here by courage. Courage is the strength to stand up when it's easier to fall down. So if you stayed in the place of the Four of Wands and didn't act on this new incubating idea, it would be a kind of stagnancy or complacency. So Spirit is saying, have the courage here to stand up and see where this is taking you. The Nine of Acorns, this is a beautiful card. This represents wands. And this is the power to persevere, or the power of perseverance. And this rather beat up looking puma or leopard is protecting something that it's accrued here. You're being asked to have the strength to stand up, and you're giving the power to persevere. What are you persevering about? Another strength card. Okay, so this is strength. Inner strength is the power within that pushes action into all areas of life. So while you have landed, you're incubating something, Spirit is working with you and asking you to stay focused and stay strong. And this is why the Ten of Feathers, this card is a card with snakes. Snakes are healing. It's recovery and transformation. So normally in this deck, the Ten of Feathers, the Ten of Swords, the Rider-Waite-Smith version of that is a dead body sitting with the sun rising with 10 swords in it. It's the end. Something is over. This is a more beautiful way to me of expressing the sense that there is recovery and transformation. Here's the sun. Things are moving on. There's growth. It's clarified by Patsy and Jellyroot. And who are Patsy and Jellyroot? Well, they're weird little creatures. And it says, give yourself permission to cut loose. She's not only riding, Patsy is not only riding bareback on Jellyroot, she's standing up. So if this is a mental turmoil, they're suggesting some time to play and give your energy and your emotion the chance to cut loose. So what comes of all this? The Page of Pentacles. So the Page of Pentacles is finding, that's the student of the Pentacles, asking you to persevere and continue to looking into something which nurtures your life in this dimension. Pentacles are all about our earth walk, our third dimensional life. And it's clarified by Veronica. And Veronica is the quieter you become, the more you hear. So she harkens back to the Hermit. The quieter and introspective, the more you'll hear about this new venture. You can turn the camera, Brian. I found that quite an emotionally stimulating reading, and it's very simple. And sometimes the best messages, the clearest messages, are the simplest. I hope you enjoyed today's reading, and if you do, give it a thumbs up. I'd like to take a moment to acknowledge a few people: Dean, the Dancing Machine, Philomene, Pam, and for keeping my coffee fund stoked for the month. And also to Fran for dropping off some flowers at my door at 9 o'clock at night when somehow she knew I needed them. So have a great week. We'll have the midweek reading on Instagram and on the Moonstarlodge page on Facebook. Somehow Facebook has stopped me posting the midweek video on my own personal page, so I have to only put it on the Moonstar page. Anyway, have a great week. Miigwech. Aho.